Yo, what's up guys, it's Jack and welcome back to another video. And the Advanced Warfare gameplay definitely goes in well with the commentary that I want to discuss today, because it was the first game that introduced us to advanced movement in Call of Duty. And as we came to find out later on, most of the community just does not like the advanced movement, and one of the biggest reasons, if not the biggest reason, is because it didn't make the game feel Call of Duty enough, or it didn't make it feel like Call of Duty. And with Black Ops 3, we learned that we can implement advanced movement, as mentioned in my previous video. Now, with all that being said, as long as it's done right in the implementation of advanced movement, will we ever get it again? Now we obviously know that until Infinity Ward's game comes out in 2019, until after that we may not get we're not going to get advanced movement until possibly sometime after that, or if we will get it at all, because the Call of Duty community, part of the reason why the Call of Duty community ends up getting bored very, very easily is because there's a new COD that comes out every year. So it's kind of like a gift and a curse. A gift in a sense that it makes money for Activision, and yet at the same time we get a new Call of Duty every year, right? But it's also a curse because it will make us, we tend to get bored very, very easily, especially if the game is not up to par. So now, since Call of Duty has gone in every single direction, and with the response of the community of how the advanced movement is implemented, and also the fact that we found out earlier, we found out, what was it, like maybe a few months ago, that Sledgehammer was originally planning to make an Advanced Warfare 2. Now, if they were going to make an Advanced Warfare 2, one thing that was definitely not going to be the same, that is pretty much a given, is the advanced movement was probably going to receive an overhaul. But to what extent? I mean, you can still make an Advanced Warfare 2 and make it all boots on the ground. All it is a paint job in terms of everything else. So, and also design is a big thing. So, like for instance, if you were to have a boots on the ground game with the kind of verticality that this game has, then it's obviously not going to work. And it's obviously going to throw too much of anything in Call of Duty is not good, really. So, right? So you have to find that balance. So, too much verticality is not good. Too much advanced movement is not good. I mean, it's just not good. I mean, Modern Warfare 2, for instance, is one of the most beloved Call of Duties in history for fans, and by mixture of fans. But one thing that I think we can all agree on, or at least most of us that have a certain level of common sense that can agree on, is that if we were to get a Modern Warfare 2 remastered, that it cannot have the same problems that the original Modern Warfare had. Modern Warfare 2, you have to have it patched. You can't have the one-man army noob tubes and all that kind of other stuff. I mean, it's already crazy enough that everything in the game is extremely powerful. Everything from the kill streaks to the fact that they stack, and to the fact that, you know, nukes aren't that hard to get, and the fact that nukes end the game, and, you know, all that kind of stuff that kind of matters in a sense. And you know, just too much imbalance is not good, right? So now, with everything that I just said here, and going back to what I said previously before I went off on a little tangent, is that the community is going to want a change of some kind. And the question is, what kind of change are we going to get? One thing that I was thinking about before starting this commentary is, well, what if all of a sudden, especially with the popularity of games like Fortnite and PUBG, maybe there's a chance that Call of Duty might not even be a first-person shooter anymore, or it might not even, and even if it is a first-person shooter, it might not play the same way as it does now. It might be something completely different, even though it might still be a first-person shooter. And I came up with one big reason as to why that may not happen, at least in terms of seriousness, in terms of like how probable is it for this to happen. And the thing is, well, esports is basically one of the things that draws a lot of money and a lot of popularity for Call of Duty now, especially to the level that it's gotten. So for them to stop that all of a sudden, and to tell the pro players, for instance, well, we're not going to be a first-person shooter anymore, it's going to be a third-person shooter, and the game's not going to play the same, it's going to be a completely different game, then, you know, all of a sudden, the pro scene in terms of Call of Duty is going to be like, it's not going to be the same. It's going to be like a completely different game. The pros, as well as the casual players like Call of Duty for what it is, and that is Call of Duty. So even if you were to change Call of Duty from a first-person shooter to a third-person shooter, and even if you were to take it as far as to take away the gameplay elements of what make Call of Duty, and turn it into a third-person shooter that's like a battle royale type of style game, it's just in terms of that, it wouldn't make sense. And for Call of Duty to go even from a pub perspective, from a casual player's perspective, a lot of us play this game because it's a first-person shooter and for the way it plays. So if you were to change that up, all of a sudden you would be basically telling everybody that likes the game and plays the game, whether you're a competitive player or just a quote-unquote filthy casual, you're basically sticking a big middle finger up to everybody, especially for those of you that have been supporting the game in the first place. So, but there's another side to this that says, you know what, there is a possibility that they may do it simply because of that reason, because of the reason that, well, look at it. Look at the popularity and the numbers. Look at the number of people that play Fortnite and look at the number of people that play PUBG. The numbers are way up there. So, and the popularity is there. So if you think about it, all Activision needs to do is figure out exactly how to make the maximum amount of profit with the littlest amount of effort, which is something that they're obviously very good at. And there you go. And who cares? And in terms of the way that it's been, it's like, hey, who cares about the fans as long as we keep on making profit and increase and all that kind of stuff. It's like, you know, so all of a sudden, in the interest of money, if taking that step will make them more money, I have no doubt that they'll do it. So if you think about it, on one hand, you're sticking a big middle finger up to those that have been playing the game for the last, let's say, 10 years. And then all of a sudden, you're drawing in a new crowd and making making even more money from a new crowd. And then all of a sudden, you're going to take advantage of them. So you guys see what I'm getting at here? I'm kind of going off on a tangent all over the place, but I think it's something worth talking about. It's something that realistically, if you think about it, because financially and popularity wise, I mean, people are gonna do what's popular, and they're gonna figure out a way to make money at it. And like I said before, Activision is very good at making the most amount of money with the least amount of effort. I think that's been proven enough, you know. And I'm not trying to make this hate on Activision video or anything like that. I'm just telling it like it is, and from everything that the evidence has been pointing towards. And I'm not saying that the developers don't necessarily work their asses off, and I'm not saying that the developers are not doing what they can, but ultimately when it comes to things like money and all that kind of stuff, and the politics of gaming and everything like that, you know, the boss is Activision, and the developers are going to do whatever Activision says, because that's the way it works, unfortunately. So there you have it, man. I mean, it's there's so many different, I mean, and Call of Duty has gone in every single different direction. So for Call of Duty to be a different kind of game in general, I mean, it's possible. It really is possible. And if anything, what they can do is they can, I don't know, they can have Treyarch make your traditional first-person shooter because they're the best at it, and then they can have the other two guys, Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer, they can have them work on a battle royale type of game or something like that, if that's the way they want to do it, and please both sides of the spectrum as much as possible, and at the same time maximize profits, right? So I don't know. It really is interesting in about a couple of years from now, after Infinity Ward releases their game, in what direction the Call of Duty franchise will go. And if that means Call of Duty not being a first-person shooter anymore, and if that's what it takes for Activision and then the publishers and everybody to make more money, then that's what they're going to do, because that's what runs the show, unfortunately. And for something like this, I feel that the voices of the community in the Call of Duty community now is not going to be enough to outnumber the voices of the more popular game type. Because to my knowledge, unless I'm wrong, there are more people that play games like PUBG and Fortnite than Call of Duty, at least right now. Or if that's not the case, it's gaining popularity pretty damn fast, and it's only going to be a matter of time before it becomes more popular than Call of Duty in terms of time spent playing and the amount of players playing the game. So and Activision and the developers are going to have to do something sooner or later. So this is where I think that the direction is going to head in terms of the things that we've already seen. So I want to know, what do you guys think about this? Does it make sense, or am I just being crazy? All right, guys, and that's all I got. And I apologize for this commentary being all over the place, but sometimes you just got to let things out and let what you feel and what you think out. It's not good to keep things bottled in. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for this commentary. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay, and if you liked the video, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.